Now, I would like to invite Ms. Shloka Agrawal for presenting her introductory remark on the topic cancer, agrochemical, and agriculture. Over to you, Shweta. Shloka.
I'm also thankful to the Pacific Group of Education that has given me this opportunity to be a part of this webinar today. I'm a student at New College Girls, and I feel that this topic, cancer, agrochemical, and agriculture, is very close to my heart. As it is rightly said, whatever you will eat will have a direct impact on your health. Nowadays, we see that a large amount of fertilizers and pesticides are being utilized on the crops to increase the productivity of grains and vegetables. But it is unnatural, and hence, many of us are suffering from various diseases, and most commonly known by us is cancer. I personally detest the use of agrochemicals in agriculture as I want to see India grow healthily. Every Indian citizen should be healthy and happy. The industrialization of the agriculture sector has increased the chemical burden on our natural ecosystem. Pesticides are agrochemicals used in agricultural lands, public health programs, and urban green areas in order to protect plants and humans from various diseases and pests. However, due to their known impact to cause a large number of negative health and environmental effects, the side effects caused by them can be an important risk factor. The urgent need for a more sustainable and ecological approach has produced many innovative ideas. Among them, agriculture reforms and food production implementing sustainable practice evolving to food sovereignty has erupted. It is more obvious than ever that the society needs the implementation of a new agriculture concept regarding food production, which is safer for man and the environment. Pesticides are found as common contaminants in soil, air, water, and are non target organisms in our urban landscapes. Once there, they can harm plants and animals ranging from beneficial soil microorganisms and insects, non target plants, fish, birds, and other wildlife. Pesticides are often considered a quick, easy, and inexpensive solution for controlling weed and insect pests in urban landscapes. However, pesticides use common comes at a significant cost. Pesticides have contaminated almost every part of our environment. Pesticide residues are found in soil, air, in surface, and groundwater across the country, and urban pesticides use contribute to the problem. Pesticides contamination pose significant risk to the environment and non-target organisms ranging from beneficial soil microorganisms to insects, plants, fish, and birds. Contrary to common misconceptions, even herbicides can cause harm to the environment. In fact, weed killers can be especially problematic because they are used in relatively large volume. The best way to reduce pesticide contamination and the harm it causes in our environment is for all of us to do our own part to use safer, non-chemical pest control, including weed control methods. I want to explain this with an example of cabbage, Brassica oleracea L. This is a member of cole crops under the family Brassicaceae. It is one of the most popular vegetables grown in winter seasons of India. It is low in fat, high in daily fiber, water, and vitamin C, possessing a very high nutritional density, which can help to protect a range of diseases from cancer to cataract. In addition to containing vitamin B, cabbage supplies potassium and calcium to the diet. Only a good and fertile land gives us this kind of a very useful vegetable as cabbage. Nature has gifted us many vegetables and fruits where we can live safely and healthily by consuming these natural products, but improper use of chemical fertilizers on the crop production, which is a very common practice in India, Crop's nutritional value declines due to depleted soil fertility. Organic manuring plays a vital role in sustaining soil fertility and crop production. It is a fact that use of inorganic fertilizers for the crops is not good for the soil's health because of the residual effect, while organic fertilizers do not create such problems. Moreover, it increases the soil productivity as well as the crop quality and yield. The farmers use chemical fertilizers as a readily supplemental source of nutrients, but they do not apply them in a balanced proportion. Moreover, organic matter content in some Indian states soils are very low and is being gradually depleted. I want to draw my attention to everyone that the link between pesticides and cancer has been a long concern. While agriculture has traditionally been tied to pesticide related illness, 19 of 30 commonly used lawn pesticides and 28 of 40 commonly used school pesticides are linked to cancer. Even with the growing body of evidence linking environmental exposure to cancer in recent years, a report released on May 6, 2010 by the President's Cancer Panel finds that the true burden of environmentally induced cancer is greatly underestimated. The panel's report, Reducing Environmental Cancer Risk, What We Can Do Now, concludes that while environmental exposure is not a new font on the wall on cancer, the grievous harm from carcinogenic chemical use has not been addressed adequately by the nation's cancer program and still more to do. In conclusion of my speech, I would like to say that the environmental impact on fertilizer usage is mixed. When used appropriately, their use can increase the production of biomass, especially help capture more carbon dioxide while simultaneously increasing yields. These increased yields also reduce the pressure on land by allowing more food to be produced in a smaller area, which in turn reduces emissions. Nevertheless, excessive fertilizer use can have negative impacts. This can lead to nitrogen leakage in water courses and disturb the equilibrium of surrounding ecosystems. Thank you, everyone. Over to Dr. K.K. Dave.